and taken to a new name called Beyond. So I want to make you feel welcome, knowing quite well that you are doing business with an organization that has something to lose. And that is why most of us are here, because when they decided, we know our interest was also at heart of the company. Now, how does this whole thing connect? Why are we here tonight? We are here because, friends, right now it's not smiling. I can say that authoritatively. It's not smiling right here in Nigeria. I don't know which country you're joining us from. Inflation is eating hard and people are crying. And I discovered that the people that are really, really facing the pains of what is going on right now are guys that are more on the left side of the quadrant of finance, of life, and of finance. Left side, left side, hand side of the quadrant of life finance. That I'm referring to the employees. The bad news is that we discovered that there are about 95% of the world population that plays on this left side outside of the quadrant of personal finance. And a good chunk of them, about 60% of this 95% of the world population that plays there in the quadrant called employees, and about 35% of the 95% in the other quadrant called self-employed. And then on the other right side and side of the quadrant, we have just 5% of the world population. And about 4% of them are placed in a quadrant called big business owners, while 1% plays in a quadrant called investors. And the shocking reality is that this 5% of the world population controls 95% of the world resources, while the remaining 5% is being dragged by the world's largest population quadrant, which is 95% of the world population, and tracking with the 5% of the world resources. It may appear to be unfair, but that is the reality. Like Jim Rohn would say, don't ask why the sun set in the morning. Why wasn't it still dark till maybe 12 noon? Don't ask. That was how God made it. So I discovered that no matter how much we ask, until we're willing to study it and understand, and also put in effort to know how to migrate to the right quadrant we feel we belong, that nothing will change. Why should you do something urgently to move? Eventually, you're in this meeting and you're playing in the employee quadrant, is because you will always, at all time, earn income by exchanging your time, your education, your life for money. And that is the truth. And if you don't work, you may never get paid. And I discovered some companies that even if you were to be sick, in fact, there are companies that don't even have a welfare package for their female staff that are on maternity leave. It could be that bad. So as long as you are there, your life is more on a pay as you go quadrant. Then some people, for whatever reason, decided to start something by the side. Maybe they call it side hustle, while they are running a full-time employment. And over time, they now want to step out there, now focus on that. Maybe the business has grown as we are advised, started by the side. When it has become big and enough to employ you, can step out. The danger of self-employment can be easily explained by what happened to some of us here during the lockdown. I may not know what it was like for you, but it wasn't palatable for some families. It wasn't funny. The impact of COVID-19 is still telling. Some businesses have not been able to recover from the impact of post-COVID-19. And the fact remains that it may linger for a very long time. Right now, as we're talking, recession is eating almost every other nation out there. Nigeria is not exemption as it stands. We are facing it right here. But I discovered that these guys on this other right side of the quadrant seems to be having a field day. Why is this so? Because they own businesses that are run on systems. Within this time, Dangote is still declaring billions of quarterly profit. Banks are still declaring billions of quarterly profit. Why are they making money? Because they own system that allow people to put in everything they have got, their time, their education, their connection, their health, everything aligned for them. And that's how it works. Now, some guys that are playing there, the next thing they do is to be sure they start buying into corporations. And that can explain why you discovered some years ago, Dangote was, I don't know whether he's still the president of Nigerian Stock Exchange. For someone to be the president of Nigerian Stock Exchange is a function of share capital. It means he's sitting on sizable volume of share in the market. That means aside from what this company does, he has also successfully buying other businesses. It's just wisdom to play the game that way. Now, what is the good news? The good news is that some of us here that have been confused thinking, what is the way forward? What can I really do? What can I do with my life? How do I go about it? What is the next step I need to take right now? That there is a gold mine we have actually discovered called the foreign exchange market. It is indeed a gold mine, but before I go further, I'd like to help you understand at this point that it's business we're here to discuss. What that means is that every business has some ultimate risk, and that why you were invited, mostly for our guests, was to come and see, because I don't think it is wisdom for anybody that wants to go into business to just come into business because of who talked to you. A business should be something you do out of personal conviction. And once you have decided to do, you should be able to own it up. Own it up and have discovered whether risk is involved or not. Any business you don't own it up have a short lifespan. That is the reality behind this whole thing. So why we invited you here and why I would like to actually your indulgence to be open-minded is for you to see for yourself why this opportunity is what you must never miss. Because I can tell you for true that many lives have actually been changed through this. Someone out there may be asking, Forex, not for me. Just the way I used to say some years ago after I got my fingers burned severally. Anybody that have attempted trading Forex will agree with me that I've never met anyone who have started attempting trading Forex and maybe has been on that space for like a year or two. I would say I've never actually lost money. Nobody. There's what we call baptismal fee or something like that. As you call initiation fee, you will definitely pay your due. I mean, please, we have so many people hanging out there. Please admit them. You will definitely pay your due. This market is so large. It's a juicy space. And that's why people, as much as it happens, are still trooping in. So large. Alive 24 hours, 5 days in a week. Well over $6 trillion exchanges hands in this market every day. As a matter of fact, there was a day, single trade that one man, one of the top players in this market, make about $1 billion from a single trade in this market. But of course, you know, for him to make $1 billion, it means some people actually also do what? They lose to him. That is what explains the bad news side of this business. The market liquidity, some of us are market liquidity provider. You play, it's like a game. You win, someone lose. You lose, someone win. That's how it works. So why is it really that most people, as much as we see that there's so much money to be made here, but a whole lot of people are losing? The losing is because, number one, some of us got into forex business and we were taught how to trade by brokers. And some of the brokers you are trading with, trading through their platform, are liquidity providers. So if you lose a trade, they win. And if you win, they lose. And they're the one training you to trade. That can explain one good reason why some of us never really do well, because you can expect the outcome from my explanation now. And some of us also, the problem of equity. Some trades that are going sour, going negative, has the potential to turn positive if you have substantial liquidity to sustain the market. So you discover that people trading, when they discover, because real traders are not day traders. I'm being sincere. Real traders are swing traders. There are people that trade once in 3 months. Some trade once in 6 months. Once they enter one trade. Or that trade lasts for months and lasts for weeks, if not months. It can go so bad sometimes they can lose up to 90% and they will refund the account, because the policy, the formula is simple. There's a known philosophy that whatever goes up in the market will eventually come down. But the question is, do you have the liquidity to sustain the trade, pending when it's going to retrace back to where it started from? That is the truth. So you discover that people that enter a trade with stop loss, as they just enter a trade, just a little shaking in the market, boom, everybody are bounce out. Every time your trade hit a stop loss, you lose whatever you have allowed the market to take. You enter again, sell another stop loss. So you can be trading with stop loss and still be losing. And that explains why 99% of retail, that's the small trade market players, are considered as market contributors. Now, the question is, are there really people winning? The honest truth is, yes, they are. There are some guys called hedge fund managers. There are banks that play big in this space. Of course, I hope you know that this is like the main business of central bank, foreign exchange business. That is like their core business. Aside from regulating local, players in the banking sector, making regulatory policies, the main business of CBN is foreign exchange business. Why is that a lucrative business? Because by law, no international business can happen as of today in Nigeria without the involvement of central banks. It's not possible. There's an amount of money you can't fly with. Even if you are traveling you can't travel with. I think anything above that $5,000 or $10,000, and even with $10,000, you have to declare. If they discover that on you, I think it's a serious penalty you're going to pay. What are they trying to encourage? Money should pass through the defined way, which is transacting a business with someone in China, what is a normal defined way by the government. I instruct my bank, my GT bank, or whichever local bank to actually move my money to a client has a local bank in China. Of course, no individual can own an account with a central bank, but no international transaction happen without the involvement of central banks. So when my money based on my instruction is to be moved to a client in China, the procedures is that the money will move from my local account to Central Bank of Nigeria, and then move from Central Bank of Nigeria to Central Bank of the country that I'm transacting with the client. And then move from the Central Bank of that country to the local bank of my client in that country. That explains why we have so much bottleneck, so much charges, so much delays. Sometimes it takes days to achieve this. But that process is how this guy stays in business. And again, some of us here are heavy players in the market because we consume a lot of foreign-based products. and of course, I can tell you what, some of us are doing it unconsciously. You are a good consumer of foreign-based products. And by adventure, you are the type that say, no, I don't do too much foreign. But the question I like to ask is, even that local product you are consuming, is there anything they add to part of the raw materials that is imported? If not raw material, what about the machine they use to process it, to produce it? Was it locally fabricated or imported? Is there anything that keeps that machine running that is imported? As long as there is any part that involves changing foreign exchange, you are part of those fueling the market, part of the market contributor to the $6 trillion well over daily. But the question I have to ask you is, do you have any way of benefiting from this process? If not sitting down on your computer trying to trade, and then you don't have the skill and you keep being a victim. And the good news today is that you can join us and start benefiting. Today, MTN has been evaluated and established to be bigger than the entire financial sector, financial market of Nigeria. MTN, one company, that big. How old is MTN? Less than 25 years. Why are they that suddenly becoming that big? They sell something that none of us in this meeting can do without. You buy airtime, you buy data, they make so good money daily. MTN quarterly revenue now runs into trillions of naira. Quarterly. But you know the bad news? The company is getting bigger. Some Nigerians are getting smaller. They are being trained by the day. Some of us don't have any way of making a shishi from whatever MTN makes in the market. And that's why, and same thing is what has also been happening in the foreign exchange market. You are playing directly or indirectly. You travel, you exchange money, you buy goods, you exchange. Whether you buy with dollar, you don't need to buy with dollar. You just need to buy goods that is imported, you pay naira. By the time the owner want to order for more goods, definitely there will be exchange. So you are part of the deal. So the good news is, why racking your head? Why not join us and win like the bounce? Opportunity to start benefiting from the market. The market has been there and it will always be there. Why not join us and start benefiting, winning like the bounce with a simple plug and play system? And for some of us in this meeting that have been attempting to trade, like myself, and you keep losing money, I like to say, friends, why not leverage? You leverage on every other aspect of your life. You didn't buy books and start reading at home because you knew you needed to be educated, but you didn't want to pay school fees to anybody. And you are not the one teaching your children. Even if you own a school, you are not the one teaching them all the subjects. You don't fix your car. How come we always leverage on people, on system to keep our life going in other aspects? But when it comes to making money in the foreign exchange market, we are bent to doing it ourselves. That for me is in the past. And ever since I discovered that, it's been fun for me. A plug and play simple system that all that requires is you pay for a license. And put you on autopilot. No past knowledge needed, no past experience required. And then you don't need to tell anybody for it to work. And there's no tax on your side. There's nothing you need to do daily to make money. That's another thing that made this business really juicy. And interestingly, the company says that you can get up to 300% in 16 months. This 300% is the absolute income that can come from an output for a license that you are willing to wait for the output in 16 months. But you have the option of doing it, taking your money daily. That's an option. You can withdraw your money daily because once you block and it start playing 1 week after your license purchase and it start playing for you, the good news is that money comes to you every other day of the week, Monday, working day of the week, Monday to Friday, you'll be earning. If you're withdrawing daily, weekly, monthly, you are going to have up to 10% in a week, in a month. Meaning for that 16 months, 10 times 16 will be 160. $100, 100% your seed capital and 60% output on that transaction, more like return on that investment. Then for the second option, you can do up to 20 or 200%. I love this option simply because for me, it's just too smart. How does it work in real time? This option says, why not play the game like the rich? Because I've discovered an average person will look at his friend and think, oh, this guy is stealing money somewhere. Are we not working same place? How is he able to send his children abroad and live this large life, always driving good cars? And I even earn more than him, but I don't do as much as he does. The reason is simple. Some people have this understanding that life, if you have a blueprint of anything you want to achieve in life, and you are willing to follow the blueprint and pay the price, that you can eventually arrive there. I've known people that even before they get married, have a friend like that bought insurance for his children's education before he got married because he understands how it works. So what that means is, after he gets married and start raising children, whether he's sick, out of job or anything, the insurance take care of the children's education. I have people that do fixed deposit, those that have bulk money, that whose return on their investment is taking care of their children's education or taking care of some serious expenses, and the capital is still there. Of course, that may not be a very good advice for a Nigerian because of inflation. But of course, if you are doing a good fixed deposit and you do a good negotiation and the time passed before a good option like what we have now comes, there was no better option then. But all I'm saying is that instead of them using their sweat, what we call their active income to solve a problem and have to go back and work again to earn another active income, they were smart enough to put that active income to work, all right? To put it into an investment that guarantees return, and they use the return on that investment to solve their problems. And the capital, the money was still protected, and it can be bringing in further income that they will be using to solve other problems, and the capital is still there. But what is it some of us do? You do a business, you make 100 million, what do? You put the plain sheet on the paper and the table because you are doing financial planning. You divide the money, house rent, this, that, scatter the whole money and solve some problem and you feel good. But for you to make another money, what do you need to do? You repeat the same cycle. That was a problem that got Esau into trouble. He got Esau into serious trouble. Esau was an hunter like some of us, the Bible student, you understand, the Christians. Joseph was the brother, all right, was quite smarter. He saw each time he was hungry, what will he have to do? He have to go to the forest, enter bush, hunt to kill and eat. And the question is, what happened the day he's hungry and he doesn't have the energy? That was what got him into trouble, because he went hunting and that day he couldn't just have any game. So he came back, the brother made him an offer. And to him, I mean, what is birthright with hunger, with dying of hunger? He could easily swing it. Most of us are still getting ourselves into that same trouble of always spending. You live a pay-as-you-go lifestyle. The day the waters look turbulent, you come back empty and you can fling anything just to keep yourself afloat. So the advice is choose to be smart with our system. So you can put in that money for that space of 18 months or 8 months, 100% comes back. Another 8 months gives you another 100%. That is 200%. Option 3 is you allowed it to run for a space of 16 months. You know, compound interest, anything that has compound effect always bring out amazing outcome, whatever it is that has compound effect. No wonder compound interest is considered as the 7 wonders of the world. And that being said, that is what makes this money grow to 300% as against 160. Now, you also have the fourth option of saying, yes, it's 300%, but I just don't want to cancel this contract. So when it gets there, you recycle the process, and this is the option and the outcome. You can recycle the process. Maybe you buy a $1,000 license and it grows, the output in 16 months is 3,000. You have 2 options. You can take $1,000. Hey, I think I'm fine with this. Let me take my capital, at least to mitigate my risk. Or you can choose to reinvest. Should you take your 1,000 and invest 2,000, the output next will be 6,000. Or should you choose to recycle the process to repurchase another license with 9,000 or $3,000, the output will be 9,000. And you still have another option. You can choose to invest something at that point. But you should, if you choose not to, the output and reinvest 9,000, the output will be 27,000. Friends, that is if you choose to stop at 3 cycles. And what if you choose to go further? It could be quite interesting. $27,000 is what you get by the 3rd cycle. What if you choose to do 4th cycle? That'll be $81,000. What if you choose to do 5th cycle? That will be $243,000. Stallone said something the other day, and it just makes too much sense to me. 5 cycles is 16 times 5. That will be 80. 80 divided by 12 calendar months, 12 months in a year, that will be 6.6. So it's more like saying in 6 years, 6 months, you have completed 5 cycles, and $1,000 can come back to you as $243,000. Friends, this is not a joke. It's not a joke. What it means is the same time your child gains admission to study law or to study medicine, you can make this investment. Before your son will actually qualify to practice law as a lawyer, getting done with 5 years of studies, 1 year school youth service, 1 year law school, to be qualified to be called to the bar, as your son is graduating, you can also hand him over a check of $243,000. What does that actually imply? While others are queuing up in the labor market looking for a job, you can settle your son for life. What if you choose to step up your games and take it up to $5,000? What is the implication? The implication is that I have had many people talking about becoming a millionaire in dollars. And the question I ask them often is, do you have a plan? And I discover some of them are just talking, it's a mere saying thing. But with this, your $5,000 can take you to millionairehood in dollars if you choose to play another 5 cycles. 3 cycles will mean $135,000. That is for 3 cycles. But by the 5th cycle, that will be about $1.2 million. $1.2 million is the possibility you will have by your 5 cycle. As a matter of fact, that means your 4th cycle will be $405,000, and the 5th cycle will be $1,215,000. You can definitely find yourself becoming a millionaire in dollars just like that. And you know the honest truth, what is driving our decision here is simple. We understand that when it comes to investment, real investment, You don't invest in January and hope to double the investment by December. Go and have a conversation with filling station owners. Talk to people that build businesses like hotels, build schools. How long did it take them to recoup their investment? Sometimes it takes up to 5 years, 5 years to recoup capital, not to talk of start talking profit. Because some businesses, aside from the capital investment, you also need running costs, what you need to run the business, like filling station. You bought the land, you got licenses, you buy all the equipment, you set up the place, build the property to house that place. Then you still need to have money, liquidity to recycle, bring in product and sell and go back, and bring in and sell and go back. It's a capital intensive business. As a matter of fact, we have multiple kinds of licenses, and your preference to go for any that suit you best. But whichever one you go, 300% is the output in 16 months. But just a way of letting you know, there's what we call license management fee. So anyone you go for, you have to pay $49 as a license management fee, and that is how it works. Now the question next will be, who are these institutional traders? Who are these guys I'm talking so loud about? I want to welcome you to the Omega Pro family. You know, a company with a vision to build wealth without border and for people without borders. These guys are big, you know, like a friend would say, if you are big, you are big. If you are big, you are big. They've been there since 2018. I can see I've been there since 2018 and 2019. They opened up the system for the public to trade on, and they are becoming bigger by the day. Well over 2.4 million people are, you know, partnering with them as it stands today. Well over 2.4 million clients in the last 3-4 years. And right now they have about 99% of their clients being very happy because they have never defaulted one day, operating in well over 200 countries. And then I like to let you know that they have successfully closed about 78% of trade quite successfully. These are the guys behind the wheel, the CEO, the COO, and the, you know, the chief financial officer. These guys are big, and their names, I like you to go online, do a due diligence on them. Mike Sim, for a case study, as one of the co-founders of this company, is an American celebrity. He's been around the space. He's an hedge fund guy. He runs an hedge fund company before this partnership to found this very company that has become a blessing to the world. Now, why are these guys getting bigger by the day? It's because they started with a clear vision from the start. There are 5 companies making it happen for Omega Pro. Somebody asked me, oh, is it network? I don't know about that. It's not a network business. That is the truth. And personally, I don't do network here. That is the truth. But of course, like any other company, no business can strive without a solid marketing team. So this company has a marketing team called Omega World Limited. They are the people that manages the business development fund that Omega Pro has. Business development fund is what any company uses for business awareness, creation, advertising, marketing, what have you, that bring in business. That is the truth. So they are the one doing it. But their model of marketing is not the conventional type of billboard and big brand ambassadors and stuff. They rather opted for an option called brand influencers, which is who I am. And the opportunity to some of us here are also coming in a short while to become a brand influencer, and you'll be helped to understand what is stand a chance of making as a brand influencer. It's getting sweeter by the day. And they have multiple other companies like their broker. They have another team of expert traders that actually sit on 25% of their trade. They have like 4 teams of people trading, of independent institutional traders managing their portfolio, so that no matter how bad the market goes for team A, that will not become a reflection of our experience of the other team. And they have a bank as it stands now in the UK, an online bank called OPM Money Limited. And lastly is that they have an exchange. Now, why am I here? Is because I know about this company in 2019, and for whatever reason, because I've discovered businesses like this have a reputation of not seeing the light of the day. They will come hot, noise everywhere. Before you say Jack Robinson, they are gone. So when they came in 2019, I refused. But everything they said they would do 2019 was done and dusted. 2020, everything they said they would do, done and dusted. 2021, everything they said they would do, done and dusted. For this year, 2022, part of their plan for this year is launching a new financial product that is related to real estate, loan and smart contract that is on the pipeline. And next is becoming a regulated hedge fund manager. What that means is once that happens, the game become a game changer. And also they are targeting 3 million clientele size. And so far we are well over 2.2, 2.5 million client, customer base, in the community. So I have no doubt that they will even cross 3 million people by the end of this year. Then by next year, another why I'm here, I decided to start Omega Pro, even after they have been around, and I'm seeing some new things coming every other day that look quite juicy. But why I choose to go for Omega Pro is because there is a saying that if you are really desiring to go anywhere that matters to you, find who know road and follow the person. By next year, these guys are going to be listed in the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, and that's, for me, will mean a game changer at the higher realm. And I'm having a strong, deep-seated feeling and conviction that once that happens, they may likely reduce just a personal thinking or thought. They may likely reduce how much they're paying out to investors. The reason is because at that point, they don't need to prove any point to anybody. That become a public entity. That's the truth, public liability. And telling you what is meant to go bigger. So these guys have core plans and core structures in place that is making things work. So I like to say that you can do me with Omega Pro and lead a very choice lifestyle for yourself. It's working, it's been around, it's making so much sense. And I can tell you, your case can be also the same. Now, for some guys in this meeting that want to say, hey, is there a way to go beyond 300%? Because some of the reasons why some people could not join was because they thought Omega Pro used to pay the lowest, 300% for 16 months. When my company is paying 20% in a week or 20% in a month, the question is, where are those guys? Nowhere to be found. But Omega Pro has a smart way of helping some of us that want to make more money to do far beyond 300%. Some guys make as much as $50,000 every other Monday of the week from this company. I know close to like 6 people that make that kind of income. I think at this point, I'd like to welcome someone who is going to tell you, but please, for your information, pay attention to one fact, that this is 100% optional. It's absolutely your choice. If you want to be part of this, if you are not interested in this part, you can just plug in and play, just plug and play, buy a license and wait for your output. But if you are like one of us that have discovered that in most cases, you may not have that real money to really buy a license that can mean much in terms of what comes to you, then you want to join, I want to welcome you to this part of the discussion where they will show you how you can join these guys on the screen and be doing well over $50,000 every other week. Please make welcome with me, Mr. Stallone-Obaraemi Samuel, as he come on board to have us see how we can go beyond 300% in 16 months and how and what you need to do to make that happen. Mr. Stallone, are you howdy?
All right, thank you very much, my friend, Victor Legend Etukian. I hope you can hear me very well, clearly.
Yes, we can hear you, but it's not very audible.
All right, is it better this way?
All right, I think it's trying to be better now.
All right, give me a moment. Let me see what I can do. Is it better this way? Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Smart. You can shoot.
All right. Okay, great stuff. So let's pump the energy. Thank you very much for taking us this far, showing us that it's very possible for us to make 300% of whatever license that we buy. So it's a tool. Anybody can use the tool in different ways. I like to tell the story of a lady that I met in Abuja a couple of weeks ago who said, Stallone, I'm a widow and I just lost my job, but I want to make sure that my child goes to the UK to school by next year. So I have $9,000, but I'm going to put $3,000. And in the next 16 months, I hope to get $9,000 so that I can fund that dream for starters. And then I'm going to put the second $3,000 into this buy a license. And in the first 8 months, I'm going to take 100% out of it so that I can fund my small business that I'm setting up. And by the end of the 16 months, I'll take another 100%. And the third $3,000 I'm going to put there and be taking 10% every single month so that I can use it to run the family. So the reason I'm telling you this story is that what we just shared with you is a tool All you have to do is fathom what you need to do is to fathom how you can use that tool to benefit yourself, your family, your loved ones. But without much ado, I want to go straight to how can we make a lot more than 300% in that same space of 16 months. Remember, one thing that is constant is the time. It's 16 months that's involved. So would you settle for just $300 passive income, or can you use that same 16 months to do something more? I want to share with you a very simple system that we designed in order to help those who want more. Like my friend said, it's entirely optional. I'm just going to show you the system. Open your mind, make sure that you have your pen, your writing materials, and try to find out how that system that we've designed applies to you and your dreams, your family, and whatever you intend to do. So give me a moment. I'm going to share my screen now, right? So let this come up. So I hope you can all see my screen, right? I'm trying to project. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, please.
All right. Okay, great. So basically, if you want to go beyond 300%, we refer to such a person as an influencer. An influencer is someone who learns how to monetize his network. We all are connected to people. How can we monetize the network? How can we financially weaponize our network so that we can make a lot more than 300%? In fact, the way it is, we could actually make up to $50,000 every week. I'm going to show you some examples if we have the time. Of course, these young men here all make over $50,000 every single week. Yes, over $50,000 every single week. And from the proceeds that they make from this space, they've gone on to open different companies. Some of them you see here have up to 6 different businesses solidly built and running independently, but they got the funds from this place. We've had people that have tried or have set up a system to fund their retirement dreams. Some say, I'm going to retire in the next 6 years. What am I going to do in order to make sure that when I retire, I will not become destitute? And they found this vehicle as a viable vehicle to use. The reason I'm saying all of this is that if you do not understand how to tie what we are saying to a particular goal or vision that you have, it might make sense to you, but not as much as when you tie it to something that is important to you. Is it your child that you want to send to school? Is it a house you want to build? Is it a dream vacation you want to take? Is it a community, a crave to help people? Do you have the volunteering spirit, but you would love to do more? But with what you have today, you can only reach a handful of people and you want to reach a lot more. I want to show you a system. My friend talked about the cash flow quadrant and how different people fall into the different quadrants. So I believe we've all taken that lesson. But a quick one, let me ask you a question. It's a very fundamental question. Would you like a system, a simple system, where you can generate 200 million to 300 million naira extra income in just 8 months or less? We're talking about 200 million naira, 300 million naira in just about 8 months. In fact, we're talking about in dollar, we're talking about so you can actually make up to between $1 million to $3 million in a space of 8 to 12 months. If you found a system like that, would you like to at least try to understand it? Can I get a few answers in the comment section if this appeals to you, this question? Learn, you don't need to try, but would you love to learn about it? Okay, yes, go on. I want to hear yes. Okay, Stanko Japan said yes, I'd love to learn. Awesome. So who else would love to learn about this? Okay, all right, yes, Stanko said yes. All right, so only Stanko wants to learn. Oh, Zila said, okay, I want to do this. Yeah, who else? All right, great. Every smart person will want to at least know. But I'm going to ask you a second question. And the second question is this. The second question is, would you know 2 persons, 2 people in your circle of friends who would also want to learn how, or would want to earn 200 million naira to 300 million naira extra in 8 months, or maybe $1 million to $3 million in 8 to 12 months? Do you know two persons? I believe that we all have friends, and there is no friend that you would ask this question from a genuine point of view that would not say yes. All right. Remember, the answer is, the question is, would you love to earn? Now, we're going to show you if your answer is yes. Of course, if you're still here, it means you want to learn, you want to know how. Otherwise, well, you might just say, well, you know what, I don't want to hear this, because this is actually for those who really want to earn more than 300%. And we're just going to show you a very simple system. That system is what we call the P2PM system. Okay, it's more of a peer-to-peer mentorship system. And it's got 4 simple steps, 4 simple steps. Remember, I keep repeating the word simple, 4 simple steps. So don't complicate it in your head. Let's not complicate matters. The first step is simple: buy a license. All right, that's the first step. And well, the first speaker shared with us how we can actually buy licenses. By buying a license, you become a partner. Now, there are different licenses. For you to qualify to become an influencer, you should have a license, maybe the basic license, which is like 500 Club 500 license, or Club 1000 license, or Club 5000 license. I think we already have people going for Club 50,000 license already. All right, but that depends on what the quality of your friends, your circle, your network, and how much you want to harness that network, and how much you want to monetize that network, how much you want to share with people, right? Now, understand again that this is not for people without jobs. Now, people make the mistake to say, oh, this is actually for those who are probably looking for a job. This is, in my experience, this opportunity actually does not appeal to people without jobs as much as it appeals to successful executives like petroleum marketers, CEOs of businesses, branch managers. We have discussions with lots of people, and we find out that this appeals more to people who are, in some regards, comfortable. So cancel it if you have it in the back of your mind that, okay, it's maybe for people who are without jobs. No, because the question I'm going to ask us is simple. Do you earn $50,000 a week today? If you do not, if whatever you're doing today, you do not earn $50,000 a week, then you should listen. You don't have to get started. All you have to do is get the information, ponder over it, and see if you want to make a decision or not. All right. So we have the Club 50,000 license. But most of the examples we're going to give today, we're going to use the Club 500 and Club 1000 to share and show you what it is like. All right. Then the second thing is to stop and study. Stop and study. Now we have the Mentoring Academy. So what we've just done is to beautifully calibrate your learning process or your learning journey. So once you come on board, all you have to do is don't jump and get started and start doing stuff. It's like having ignorance on fire. No, we're saying have the knowledge and then have the fire. Okay, so we say stop and study and understand our P2PM system. Okay, and we have a system that can help you to learn even online. It's very simple, all right? Online, on WhatsApp, just to give you information, guiding you. The key thing here is the discipline to learn. And what I tell people is, if it takes you 4 years to learn how to become an accountant, and then go earn, say, 150,000 naira, or even if 500,000 naira, if it takes you 5 years to become an engineer, and probably would take you another 1 year to go for youth service, come back and you earn something in the hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands. And what will it cost you to take a period of, say, 90 days to learn something, or take for at the very minimum, take a period of 1 week to learn the fundamentals of what could actually give you $50,000 a week. So we have a robust academy that can teach you a whole lot, all right, but in very simple terms. So number 3, enroll 2 partners, 2 friends. So what you need to do at this point in time is that you have enrolled yourself. That is by buying a license. Now understand that the license that you buy already has started running on the trading path and giving you passive income on a daily basis. All we are asking you to do is, what if you also use the same 16 months that you have? What if you use the same 16 months to do what? To learn and earn some more, earn up to $50,000 every single week. Folks, we're talking about 35 million naira every single week. What will it won't cost you anything extra, all right? It's just learn, and then stop and learn, and then you enroll 2 partners, okay? And your 2 partners could be friends and family members. And all of this should happen in 2 weeks, all right? Now, it's not like there's any hard and fast rule to say it has to happen in 2 weeks, but the results I'm about to show you would ideally manifest themselves. Okay, the results I'm about to show to you will ideally manifest themselves if you're able to follow these 4 steps that we are prescribing. Step number 4 is to be committed, be mentored, join our mentorship academy and be mentored. And then what do you learn? That you learn how to lead, leadership, entrepreneurship, wealth building, personal economy management. You learn all of that, okay? Because we understand that if you grow the mind, the pocket will grow. A mentor of mine told me something once. He said, if you empty your pocket into your mind will build you a bank. Let me take that again. If you empty your pocket into your mind will build you a bank. So it's not about, oh, I'm afraid, oh, okay, how am I sure it's not going to crash? Oh, listen, this is a business, whether you like it or not. And at the time we joined a couple of weeks ago, about 7-8 weeks ago, the clientele base of Omega Pro was 1.5 million customers. In 2 months, that number has jumped from 1.5. Let me take the higher rung. It's jumped from 1.5 to 2.5 million. So that means it took them 3.5 years to build a clientele base of 1.5 million. Then it took them just 2 months to build extra 1 million. What does that tell you? People have stayed away for a while and watched them to see if they know what they're doing. And they've proven that they've mastered this craft and they're growing, yeah. And they've become the discipline, they've got good corporate governance. Now people trust them, and they've gone past that initiation and that point of testing their proof of concept and all of that. They're now spiking. This is not the time to overthink it. This is time to take a plunge and immediately start building your personal economy. So let me quickly recap the 4 steps. All right, let me quickly recap the 4 steps. Now, these are the 4 steps. Become a member. That's by buying a license that pays you passively, and then you can enjoy the active part if you decide. Number 2 is to stop and study. Don't just go fire on with ignorance. No, we don't encourage that. This is a business, and it's not a business for job seekers. I say that with respect, because a job seeker is basically, except he has an extraordinary mind, but ordinarily he's looking for survival. This is a space where you're looking for people who are looking to thrive, and they have the discipline and that lofty mind to learn and to apply the things that they learn, because they see the big figure and they feel they can hit it. All right. This is not a place for people who complain and give excuses. Of course, it's been discovered that the most expensive but most worthless thing that has ever been created in the history of mankind is excuse. An excuse, the most expensive and most worthless. So this is not a space for that. All right. And then number 3, find 2 partners. Number 4, join our mentorship academy and continue to develop yourself. I'll give you real quick, all right? This is what happens. If you follow the system that we've created, all right? In your first month, all right? In the first month, you would actually have 6 persons in your team. Just understand that I'm just giving you the umbrella explanation of this. You would have 6 persons in your team, because the first 2 persons will stop and learn, all right? And then they will talk to four persons. You brought two persons in, and then they talk to two persons each. So the two persons that came in after you and the four persons that would come in after them put together 6 persons in a month. Now that you simply know this simple stuff, let's not go into the dirty part of the calculations. Let's keep it simple. By your second month, you would have 24 new persons in your organization. And then by your third month, you would have 96 persons in your organization, new persons. And then by your fourth month, you would have 384 persons. Now, if you add all of that together, it will be 510 persons. The big question is, do you know these 510 persons? Probably not. Maybe you just know the first 2 persons that you spoke to that are actually your friends, or maybe your family members or your contacts you met somewhere at the bank, or, you know, that you said, hey, there's this big business proposal, and they sat down, they spoke with you, and they got interested. But the other 4 persons that will come after them, and the 8 persons that will come after those 4 persons, and then the 16 persons that will come after the 8, and the 32 go on like that, you do not know them. That's the beauty of what we are telling, what we're talking about. You do not know them. So just to demonstrate, but this is like you here, your first month, you come in, your first week, you come in to stop and study. And then the second week, you sign up 2 persons. Your third week, your 2 persons stop and study. And the fourth week, you sign up 2 persons. Then you have 6. It's just the same way the process runs for month 1, 2, and 3. Now let's look at what is the possibility if everybody, remember, I'm just giving you, it's like a business pitch. I'm showing you the possibilities. For a moment, understand that we have licenses from, up to $50,000. But let's assume you are working with $500. Listen, my friends and network that I have can only take $500, buy a $500 license. What is the volume of business you and your team of friends or your organization would have been able to generate? You would have been able to generate within 8 months, your organization, you are the CEO of that organization, all right, would have been able to generate $65.5 million worth of business in just 8 months. This is not just from you. The point is, it's a leverage system, all right? Now, imagine if, just a couple of points before we go on, right? Now, imagine that you do, let's say your friends come in with $1,000 each. Everybody comes in with $1,000, and you do like $131 million worth of business in 8 months. So one person decides to run a $500 business. The other person decides to run, say, a $1,000 business. All right. So what happens next? Let's see how this translates at the end of the day to Naira and Kobo, or to dollars, okay, in your pocket. Now, take a look at this. If you decide to run a club $500 income, that means everybody that comes into your team decides to do $500. This is what is possible. In your first month, you'll do $150. Your second month, $600. Your third month, $2,400. But for time's sake, this is what your total earning in 8 months would have become. It would have become $604,750 in 8 months. You can screen grab this, go do the calculation yourself. That is what would have happened. $600 in 8 months. All right. Now let's imagine that you decide to run a club $1,000 income. Business. Everybody comes in with $1,000. It means that you would have made over $700,000 in 8 months. Okay. The beautiful thing, the nice thing here is that if everyone is committed to this very simple system, 4 steps, 4 very simple steps, the system, and they follow the system, everybody earns. Everybody earns. So it's a very simple system we brought to board so that everybody can benefit from that. But, life is imperfect, right? So you may not always get 100%. So, and in everywhere in life, if it's your examination and you go do your exams and you get 10%, it's a failure rate. If you do, I'm an HR person, that's my background. If you do your assessment and your performance management stuff and everything, and you hit 10%, it's a failure mark. You probably will not get a raise, or maybe will not even get a promotion. In school, test, work, everywhere, 10%. Even as a salesperson, if you hit 10% of your monthly target, you are considered a failure. But here we are saying that even if you hit 10%, it's not a bad deal. All right, because if you take a look at this, even if you hit 10% here, it's not a bad deal. Take a look at this. If you hit 10% of 700, 10% of 700 is 70. If you make $70,000, it's not a bad deal. If you do, it's 70. If you do 5%, it's about 30. It's still not a bad deal. But here's the thing, right? I want to bring to your attention. Beyond the fact that we make money, as you've seen in the projection, there are also benefits in kind that you get. If you follow, by the time you get on board and you take a look at this, all right, you earn all of this on this column. You also begin to run. The way the organization is designed is that performance is rewarded. Of course, it's a way to, because you understand, we also, like I said, we have a learning system, and we're very big when it comes to personal development. You grow from being an associate to becoming a builder, a silver. Well, the beauty of this is that while you are focused on two persons teaching the other two persons, on the other side, unknowingly, you are also ranking. And now, as you hit different ranks, they also come with different benefits. All right, they also come with different benefits. Now, if you take a look at this column here, it tells you the volume that is required for you to hit each rank. But I'm really focused on the price that you get. All right, from our calculations, if you follow these very simple 4 steps, in your first month, you should actually hit the associate level. All right, in your first month, you should hit the associate rank. And by your 3rd month, you should actually hit the builder and silver ranks. And then when that happens, you qualify for silver trip. The first silver trip, I think, happened in Egypt. The second happened in Dubai. All right, so who knows? Your next silver trip might be in France, it might be in Egypt, it might be in France, might be in the Mauritius Island, in Indian Ocean, name it, anywhere. So you earn that trip. And then by your 4th month, you qualify both as a gold and platinum because of the volume that this system enables you to bring in. And with that, you qualify for your MacBook Air, and you also qualify for an iPhone. It could be iPhone 16, iPhone 20, 24, depending on what you qualify. When you qualify, you will be getting the latest iPhone, all right, version of the iPhone. And then by your 5th month, if you follow this simple system, remember, what I'm sharing with you is the active income part. We've talked about the passive income part, and this is completely optional, all right, just to remind us. So by your 5th month, you hit diamond, you have 5 days luxury trip anywhere in the world that a company might choose. And by your 6th month, if you follow this simple system of 4 steps, you hit the blue diamond and black diamond ranks. And with that, you qualify for an Audi car, a Rolex, a house, and another Rolex, all right? And then by your 7th month, if you follow this simple system, you would qualify both as a crown diamond and a royal crown diamond, all right? And you would, apart from the money that you earn, you would also receive a Lamborghini Hurricane and a $500 extra cash. Now, understand that by your 8th month, you would have also done hit the presidential crown diamond rank, and you've also gotten you would also get a $1 million cash prize. Now, pause for a moment. Remember, I shared that in 8 months, lower wrong, in over 600, even what our calculation has shown following the system. Now, see, if you take a look at this point here, you earn, you plus your, apart from the Lamborghini, you get another $500, $500,000. If you add $500,000 to $1.4 million, that is $1.9 million. And then if you add this other $1 million here, cash, to the 1.9 million, you already have $2.9 million. How about we start monetizing the house, monetizing the Rolex watches, monetizing the Audi car, and monetizing the Lamborghini? My friends, you probably are looking at you're probably looking at, yeah, of course, we hit $3 million already. You're probably looking at $3.5 million, $4 million. That is what is possible in a space, let's take it, a space of 12 months. The question is, are you earning the same thing wherever you are? So this is just pictorial representation of what is possible. That is the MacBook Air that you get. This is the Platinum Award, the iPhone that you get, and then the Blue Diamond cars that you get. These are luxury cars. We already have people that have gotten all of this. As a Black Diamond, you get a fantastic, beautiful house. We have people that have earned houses and it's been given to them. And then you see the Rolex, the Lamborghini, all of that as a crown diamond. My friends, we'll have 16 months. You can decide to wait for just get 300%, or you want to get more. So just to quickly cap this up real quick, what do you get? Up to 300%. You also have the algo daily income, and then you also have as an influencer, you get paid every single Monday. It's an opportunity for you to lead a luxury life. Just to really recap, all right, for the big bags, imagine if you put in $50,000, just to take you back to what my friend said. Listen, your $50,000 in 4 years can become $1.3 million passively. So if you say, hey, I'm big and I just don't want to talk to anybody, just imagine this. And then if you also say, I think I want to drive this, also think, who are the big bags that I have in my network that I can show this, that putting money somewhere and they get 5%, 10% per annum, 12% per annum, show them that this is a hurricane happening, it's a gold mine that's actually happening. So you might want to think about what we've shared with you from a core business and investment mindset. Now, just to wrap this up real quick, many people think that in order to make a lot of money, you have to really talk to a lot of people. Not exactly. I just showed you. It's just the power of two. Two. Of course, we have a lot more that you can learn from our community that is very supportive. By the way, if you decide to become an influencer, you would be under the tutelage of world-renowned, world-class coach. I think he's #1 when it comes to home business. It's no other person than Eric Worre. Now, understand Eric Worre is Omega Pro's official strategy coach, long-term. And I think what we've had, Omega Pro is the first company he's gone into this kind of arrangement with. He's not just training. So let's say anybody can help you, but is it true? Are you sure somebody has done it? Let me crave your indulgence. Just need 2-3 minutes of your time and we're done. I just want to show you a very short clip of someone that we interviewed, and he had to take us into his back office to really show us what has happened with him. So look at this. I hope you can see my screen. Yes, Mr. Bonaventure. I just want to show you where he showed us his income from where he started. I'm just going to show you what happened this year in 2022. So just watch, please. I hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, the video? All right, let me stop this and let me go back here and quickly show you this. Okay, so I think it's clear now.
I missed my flight. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. So quickly, I'll just show you this, and then as to this moment, this is July. July 26. Yeah.
It will come up.
Okay.
Yeah. So I click on view. Okay, wow. And click on view.
Is it clearer now?
So,
No.
so from 2nd July
Can you fast
2022,
forward?
you can see how that's this year, 2022, 2nd July. You can see how
Very
the
blur.
50,000
I don't know whether how that's saying.
Can you all see?
No.
Can you all see it?
No, it's blurry.
All right, okay, so real quick, okay, so because of time, okay, so just to explain to you, right? If you take a look at this part here, you see this is 6th March, this is 13th March, it's a weekly income, right? And then if you take a look here, this is 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, like that all through, except for this part here, somewhere around here where you just have 135,000. Of course, it's just to show us, I don't know why it's blurred. I'm sure it's maybe because of the network. This is just to show us that what we are saying is real and we're not just making this up. This is Bonaventure's back office life. It's like somebody asking you to print your bank account, all right?
Yeah, up till the last earning was but you can see there was a point of $35,000 here. So don't skip this one. That's the 3rd of April 2022, $35,000. But you can see the last earning, that's 24th of July 2022, which was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's on Sunday because payments are made on Sunday. So
all right, so basically that was an interview that we had with him and he showed us his back office. So this is just to tell you, my friends, that this is real in case you really want to take advantage of the active part, instead of just staying docile and saying, okay, you know what, I don't want to do anything, I just want to wait for my passive income. Well, exactly, that could be your decision, all right? So basically, if you have a dream, hey, go for it. What do you need to do? Simply buy a package. Start with the $500 package. That's when you really would enjoy the influencer journey, up to the 50,000. We already have people buying $50,000 packages because they understand how powerful this is. All right, I want to stop here. And if you have questions, I want to take your questions real quick. And before we call it a day, Ola, I see your hand up. Is it by mistake or you want to ask a question?
Is this presentation recorded?
Yes, sir, it is recorded. Whoever invited you, whoever invited, yes. Whoever invited you we should be able to send you a link. Just give me a moment. I think I can, just give me a moment. I think I can share the link right now so you can copy it if you like.
Thank you.
Watch it later. Just give me a moment. I just want to get the link out so that you can start watching if you like. So I'm going to drop it right now in the comment section. Let's go. All right, good. So that's it. You can take the link there and you can actually watch it because we're actually recording it live on YouTube. All right, any other question? Any other question? Our time is fast spent. Any other question? All right, if not, if you're a new person, yeah.
Nice job. Thanks so much. Awesome job you've done. Thanks so much, guys. Okay, the link is right there. Just a way of bringing to an awareness what we are doing tomorrow in Lagos. If you're in Lagos, all those things Leon has actually mentioned, we do have a practical section for our registered members to have opportunity of getting to see the system real time. Almost everything we do here is scripted out. We have script that guides our step. So I'd like to invite you for a practical section in our project headquarters in Lagos. Please get back to who invited you if you're a member and ask for address. But if you're in a WhatsApp group, the P2PM, our system WhatsApp group, we're going to drop the address there and further details to this effect. See it so that you don't miss out because, yes, you've seen the presentation. You can do up to $3 million in 12 calendar months. But the how to making that happen is what we are going to do live tomorrow by 11 o'clock. Please be sure that you don't miss out. And if you have people in Lagos, maybe you are not in Lagos, see to it that you send them down to come and get trained, because once you get registered, our system demands that we should assign you a consultant that works with you for 90 days and coach you until you understand how the business is done perfectly. So it's a teamwork, and we have a system in place. Just come learn how it works, then we go from there. All right, Mr. Stallone, over to you again.
All right, thank you very much. Somebody's asking for the recording. I've posted the link again. All right, if we have no questions, thank you very much. Please go back to whoever invited you. And all you have to do is pick a package. You don't have to refer anyone if you don't want to, but we're saying you've got 16 months, you've got 300%, and you got plus $50,000 a week. Is it worth learning about it? Your choice. In any case, you don't lose. In any case, you don't lose. So go back. If you have questions, we're open. We're not scared of questions. Go back, ask whoever invited you those questions. But please avoid the temptation to think for too long. The company is moving. People are making profits every single day. What I want to leave you with finally is, if you have some hesitation because you've been in places where people that you've done things that did not work and all of that, understand that this is a need. People always would want to look for somewhere that they're going to put their money that will work for them. So if that is being said, you would also find out that there will be service providers that will be looking for ways to genuinely solve that problem. These people have done it for almost 4 years. Nobody all over the world, no single soul would say, I was not paid a day. They just finished a program in Dubai where they also launched a 10-year strategic roadmap. It is huge. Please, my friends, the economy is not smiling. Take control of your personal economy, all right? If it's $1,000 you want to start with, $5,000 you want to start with, $5,000 is like 3.5 million, it's not like it's that big, but you can turn $5,000, like my friend shared with you, to $135,000 in 4 years. Tell me one thing you can do that's going to give you that much. All right, good night, and may God bless all of you. Bye for now.